Hello guys, good morning and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Haoma_KE, and guys, we've now begun the sunny season or the hot weather season. The rains are gone and now the African sun is always very hot. But because here in our compound we have a lot of vegetation, we have a lot of trees, so it becomes a little bit better. And today in this video you're going to experience a lot of wind. So when it's the end of the rainy season, most of the time we always get a lot of wind that heads towards the lake region or the lakeside. So it's always a sign that the rain has gone. So today I just want to do some little bit of harvesting. I'm trying to harvest some carrots here because I've seen like one or two that are popping outside, so it means they are almost ready. But I still have some carrots on the other side of the farm that are not yet ready, and there are many, at least there are many. So I still have some to harvest during, I think in the next like 2 weeks I'll have some carrots to harvest. So today I just want to prepare some porridge flour and also some brown ugali flour. So here it's very common to have those two flour in someone's homestead in the village. So there's one of my subscribers asked, I will not show in detail the porridge flour because I've done several videos here in my channel. So but for brown ugali, the reason why I'm not preparing because it is only two ingredients. We always mix brown ugali with two ingredients, and that is sorghum and what else, sorghum and only cassava. So for cassava it has to be a little bit darker, it should not be white, because you remember for porridge we always make porridge with very clean white cassava, but for brown ugali we always make it with a little bit darker cassava. I think I will show you when the video continues. So that's what we always mix. This is the millet. The reason why I'm trying to clean it up is because I was given by my mother. So my mom farms millet. I do not farm my own millet here because it has a lot of work, because they're always so tiny. So weeding it is a lot of work, and also harvesting and drying, and I have a lot of birds here. But I'm planning to plant a lot of sorghum at the edges of the farm, just to prevent birds from eating my vegetables. So they'll be concentrating on the sorghum and leaving my vegetables down here. That's what I've been told by several people, either sorghum or I plant sunflower. So birds really love the two. So most of the time here we always buy a very clean millet in the market, but because this one is from my mom, she does not clean. So the moment she harvests, she just store it immediately. So when she gave me, I told her I'll just make sure that I have cleaned it and then use it for my porridge. Thank you. So I have done a very detailed video on how to prepare porridge flour for babies. There was a title that I did that, and another one that I just did how to prepare porridge flour. So I'll just pin the two videos here in my description so that you can watch in detailed if you want to know, because I always get new subscribers every single day, and maybe one would wish to know how to prepare the flour. So for the millet, because most of the time if you just want to clean it, make sure you just sieve. You can use a sieve or just pour the topmost of the water. That means that is what is not good, and then the ones that remain at the bottom, it means that's good millet, and that's what we'll use for our flour. And if you haven't seen sorghum, this is how sorghum looks like. They are a little bit bigger than the millet. The millet are very tiny, as you can see here when I wash them, but the sorghum are a little bit bigger. Even their plant, the sorghum becomes very big, and the millet remains lower, just like they grow just like wheat. If you've seen wheat plantation, it's the same way millet looks like. So I am done washing. You just wash until you feel like the water is clear and the millet is clean. That's when you know that you've washed your millet very well. So to drain the water, I'm going to use a very clean cloth, lighter one, that will help me out to drain the water before now I go outside to dry it with the sun. So this is just to help it out to drain the water, because if you put it on a surface like this, the water will remain on top of the millet, and it will take even longer to dry. So before I go to dry my millet, so yesterday I was called by a subscriber. She's called Beryl. So she sells sardines, and she told me, can I bring you some sardines? Can I send you some sardines? And I said yes, because sardines here in the village are very bitter. And because she stays near the lake, she just brought me some sardines, and I'm very thankful. So if you want more of the sardines she also sells, I will put my email in the description so that you can hit me up if you want to buy the sardines. So today is very sunny, and as I said earlier, we've entered the sunny season, and African sun is African sun. It is very scorching. Sun is very hot in the morning, very early in the morning. The sun comes out and it is very hot. So I'll take advantage of this and dry all my cereals. So the millet, the green grams, and also the soya. So all of that, I'm going to dry them right now, so that when they dry up, I'm going to use that for our porridge. Also the sardines, I'm going to dry them. I've washed them, so it's good to always dry them so that they cook well also. So one of you asked me if we grow here green grams, and I said they take really long and they don't produce very well. So here we have our local ndengu. It has two colors, the brown one and the cream one. I don't know the colors really well, maroon, and this one the cream ones. So these are the local ndengu that we plant here, and they grow very well, and they are climbers. They climb in the maize. So when you're planting them, make sure you plant them with maize so that they climb. Also harvesting, You cannot harvest them instantly like the beans. They do not dry all together, so they dry in bits. So you can dry them just one by one, and you make sure that you harvest all the ndengu. I do not know the English name for them, so just call them ndengu here in the village. So today, because the kids are at home, it's the holidays, I want to prepare some meal for them. So I want to harvest some spring onions. I mulched them because of the sun that we are getting right now. It is very hot, so it's good to mulch your vegetables. And I'm trying to harvest the ones that have started falling, because eventually they will dry out, so it's good just to harvest them. And the reason why they fell, because when we were mulching, they were being disturbed, so most of them fell. So I just want to harvest them, and then I will use them for our meal today, which is my kids' favorite. They always love when I make that meal. So I just want to harvest at least most of the ones that have fallen, so that I can use them and take advantage of them. And I have several, and we are always told that if you pluck your spring onions, they will be thinner. But I think I'm used to plucking them. Sometimes I uproot, but because it is during the dry season, I cannot dare uproot. It's better to have something than none. So let me just pluck, and then I'll use them for cooking. And you can also tell me on the comment section, how do you maintain a green farm or a healthy plant crop during this dry season? Because here we try as much as possible to mulch, because our soil is very unforgiving. Most of the time, if it doesn't rain for 3 days or even 5 days or 1 week, the ground becomes very dry and very hard. It's not like where I was born, not even born, where my mom lives right now, our ancestral home. The soil there is red, so it tends to be moist. It retains a lot of moisture, not like our soil. But the good thing about our soil, crops grow very fast, and it is accommodative to very different types of crops. So I think that's the advantage of our crops, because in our next video I'll show you the progress of our watermelon. They are doing really well. They have started fruiting, some are flowering, and they are doing well. That's the beauty of our soil. Anything can grow. I've tried planting most of the crops, and they have really grown well. So because I have harvested a lot of spring onions, it will be good if I prepare some samosa. So samosa is very good with spring onions. So most of the time, if you want to prepare very nice samosa for yourself or for anyone, even for selling, spring onions are the best with samosas. And because I've harvested a lot of them, and I cannot even store in the fridge, because that's weird. I do not store fresh spring onions in the fridge. So what I'm going to do, I just use them for samosa. So first, I had made the dough earlier. Our dough is just made from a flour, oil, some little bit of soil, some little bit of sugar, and with water, warm water. That's how I make my dough. So as our dough rests, let me prepare the beef. So I've started with the red onions so that it cooks a little bit, then add the beef, Then after the beef has cooked a little bit, I'm going to add now um, the other vegetables. And there was a time I saw someone cooking vegetable samosa. I think she used carrots, dendengu, green grams. I think that's called vegetable. I'm not sure. But there are some people who prepare vegetable samosa and it tastes very nicely. So if you're also that person who is allergic to meat, but also me, because I have arthritis, I'm advised not to take a lot of red meat. So I've skipped taking red meat for the last 1 month. I think 1 month now, because my knees were becoming very painful. And so I just had to skip red meat for a while. Then after some time, I'll be eating them in bits, or I'll be drying them and then cook it later on. So right now I want to divide our dough into balls. I think there will be around 5, 6 or 7 balls, I'm not sure. And then start now rolling our balls to make now the pockets. Now this is how I make my pockets. So as the balls rest a little bit, let me put the green onions. I want to put as much as possible. I really love the taste of green onions in samosas. So let me just keep on adding as I start to see how they turn out. I'm also going to add the carrots, just for color and the taste of carrots also. Not my favorite, but because I have a lot of carrots here, I do not miss 5 or 10 carrots in a day here in the farm. So I always have carrots here in the farm. So that's why, because in my last video, the one that I made for Mokimo, I remember one of my subscribers said in their tribe, from the central part of Kenya, they do not add carrots, or they do not even cook, they do not even fry their mokimo. But I think it is just my I think I felt like if I fry them, they'll taste a little bit bitter, but I'll do better next time, don't worry. Our samosa pocket dough has rested well. Again, the balls have rested well. So it's time now to start rolling. So when I'm rolling, I have two ways. There's one old way that I always roll the ball until it has become too light, and then I put in the fire and I make a very big, light, giant chapati. Or I make this common one, which is this one, just rolling uh, different balls just a little bit, but make sure they have the same size so that it doesn't disturb you when you're pulling them out in the fire. And then now stick them together, roll again. You stick them with cooking oil, and then sprinkle some flour, or you can say flour. There are some people who say flour. Me, my teacher of English said flour, and I stuck to that. When I see somebody say saying flour, I always think that they are saying flour for flour, the beautiful flour. So you pour the flour, and then you stick another one, and then you roll. And that's when you get a very round, beautiful samosa pocket. It is very simple. You place just on fire. Make sure your fire is very low, not too much fire, so that it doesn't burn you, because you're supposed to remove them when they are very hot. So you just remove them. It is very easy to remove. They do not, there is no much a pressure or force. You do not use a lot of pressure or force. So remove them, and then you do the process again and again with all the other dough, and then you'll be done. Then you start the process of making now your samosa. So for these four, I think I'm going to add them in one, so they are going to remain all of them, because I cannot leave one alone. So I'm going to add the four of them all together, roll them, and then put them on the fire again, the same process I did with the first one. Then remove one sheet at a time, and then I'll be done now with now the chapatis. I will just call them chapatis, light chapatis. So the first time I saw this style of making samosas, I felt like it was very hard. But the moment you uh, make sure you know how to do it, it is the easiest and the simplest. I'm telling you, it is very easy and simple to do it this way than the other way that I used to do it. If you check my first videos, I did my old way of just rolling one big light chapati and then put it on fire. But this one is the easiest. The chapatis come out very simply, very easily. Make sure you do not put a lot of fire, and they'll come out very easily. So this will be a lot because one removes four samosas. So that means this will be a lot of samosas and we'll really enjoy. So when I'm making the quarters, I make sure I get one big chapati. So I'm going to place them all together. Place them very well so that you size them well so that it will be easier to round them, and then put it in half, cut it, then cut it in quarters, then place it again, then cut it again. So that's how I make my quarters. Very easy. So making the paste that I'm going to use is very simple. Just take flour, or some people call flour, and then you add some little water. Do not make the paste to be very runny, just a little bit heavy, just a little bit, and that is it. Then mix it up well, and then start using. So I'll do the whole process for all the samosa that I'm going to make, but if they remain, we always keep it in the freezer that we use it later on. So when you're making, make sure when you placing, you're making the pockets, the curved area is what makes the bottom, and then the sharp area is what closes the samosa. So that's how I make my samosa to be triangle. There are so many ways that people use to make the samosa triangle, but this is my way and it works. And this is the majority way that most people use in making triangle samosas. So you can just watch, and you can also tell me in the comment section, how do you make your samosa pockets? What shape do you prefer? Some prefer them to be triangles, some prefer them to be like a square. I've seen one, there was a YouTube video that I saw that the samosa was square. I don't know if we can call that samosa, but it turned out to be so well. It looked well and nice and yummy. So I think it just matters what's inside the samosa. So I'm just going to make for all the samosas the beef that I've made, and then I'll be starting frying later on after I'm done. And always make sure that you fill it up so that there are no spaces inside. You know, it always feels good when you eat a filled samosa that is compact inside. So when you're filling in, make sure you press it down so that all the samosas, all the fillings are inside, and then you close it up. And make sure you close it up well, because if there are some openings, that's when you see the oil will start removing some hissing sound and even pops out because oil will be getting inside the samosa pockets. So I always test my how hot my cooking oil is with a toothpick, or you can put just a cooking stick that is wooden, and then if it removes some bubbles, it means it's hot. So I'll be cooking the samosas in batches, I think 2 batches, and then I'll be done with the cooking. The AC. Yours is hot. Hot.